All right, we're in the dressing room with Roberto Duran and his interpreter and agent, Luis Enriquez. Now, Luis, exactly what happened in Roberto's words?
Solo exactamente qué es lo que le pasó.
Dile que me entró un calambre en el estómago y me puse bien débil de brazo y de pierna y por eso fue que dejé de pelear.
He got cramps in his stomach and his body, and the upper body, and then his arms, and he got weaker, so that's why he stopped fighting. He quit the bout.
Does this mean the end of boxing for Roberto?
Posiblemente el final de tu carrera.
Sí, ya no peleo más ya.
Yes, I'm not fighting anymore.
This is final, permanent retirement.
Definitivo.
Ya, definitivo. No
Definitely,
peleo.
I'm not fighting anymore.
Final opinion on Ray Leonard. What does he think?
Opinión de Sugar Ray.
No, que peleó nada. Yo lo vi muy lento a él, pero no podía poner presión porque él tiene que dejar ese peso también.
I saw him.
Él no es nadie. Me ganó puntos porque me calambré y todo.
I saw him very weak in the fight, but my body did not allow me to pressure him. But I didn't think he was that great.
Tiene que dejar ese peso también.
He also has to leave that weight because I could see that he was weak also.
Well, thank you very, very much. Good luck.
Muchas gracias,
Thank you.
Roberto.
Thank you.
Okay.
Por favor.
The way it was, November 25th, in Roberto's dressing room, from Duran's point of view at that point in time. Immediately thereafter, in that same dressing room, I went to Ray Arcell. Nobody questions Arcell's credentials, his distinction, his character, his integrity. This conversation. This, of course, is Ray Arcell, one of the two cornermen for Roberto Duran through his whole long and very great career, together with Freddie Brown, the other cornerman. Ray, at any point between rounds, did Duran complain to you about cramps or pains?
Never, Howard. It's just said that his arm felt stiff, that's all.
Were you surprised when he said he's through with boxing, he's retiring?
Well, I wasn't surprised because I felt that sooner or later he would retire, maybe after this fight or after the Hearns fight, and that's what he was even talking about. And I've never seen this young man behave in this manner. I've been with him 9 years. He's been through tough fights, and I was absolutely astounded. I wish I could give you an honest answer, Howard, of what really happened.
Well, I appreciate your honesty in expressing your puzzlement over the behavior. Frankly, do you think his pride was so destroyed by the manner in which Leonard fought him that he just decided it wasn't worth it anymore?
There's a possibility that you may be right, Howard. I don't know whether it was frustration or whatever you might have said. I'd have to find out. I have to talk to him. I have to talk to his doctor to find out after he examines him if there is something wrong with him.
But I heard you in the corner. You were telling him exactly the right things, that he had to fight his fight, that he had to get Leonard against the ropes, and yet it was Leonard who was able to fight his fight tonight.
Leonard controlled the fight.
No question about it.
Yes.
I'm sorry to end it this way, Ray.
All right, Howard. You've always been very kind to us, and we have to tell you the truth, and if I knew more about it, I'd be glad to relate it to you.
Good luck to you, old friend.
Thank you.
So that was Ray Arcell. I want to be absolutely fair to Mr. Arcell. I've known him 30 years of my life. He is one terrific human being. He is over 80 years of age. He couldn't fly out here. He didn't even want to go to our studios in New York. He's been so beleaguered and so distressed since the fight and the way it ended. He did say to me that he later was told by another handler in the corner who spoke Spanish that Duran did complain of stomach cramps. And you observed very quickly in one of our pictures that there was, in fact, an ice bucket placed against Duran's stomach at the very end of the 7th round. But in all our review of all of our tapes, that was the only time we saw the ice bucket. That much made clear to you. I would like now to turn my attention to the champion again, Sugar Ray Leonard. First, Ray, do you feel cheated by the furor over the way the fight ended and the apparent fact that you're not getting a lot of ink, a lot of attention, a lot of being called a great champion?
It doesn't bother me, Howard, because what was shown is quite evident. I beat Roberto Duran, and I beat him my way. The press, they said by Duran quitting, does it tarnish my victory? How can it?
I'm asking you.
No, I don't feel it has. If I had complained about arthritis, or I said the reason I couldn't move in Montreal was because I had hemorrhoids, who would have believed it? No one.
But you didn't have arthritis.
Yes, but who's to say he had cramps?
All right, leave that for the moment. Did you feel Duran weakening very early in the fight?
In the third, fourth round, I noticed that Duran was watching my feet, my movement, the way I was going around the ring. And inside, he wasn't as strong as he was in the first fight. And that was because I was stronger. If you really look close at both fights, you would notice that the first encounter, Montreal, I was very thin. Duran looked huge. This time around, Duran was thin. I was huge.
Interesting. Yet he came back and gave you a good going. In the fifth round, you remember Dundee said to you, you lost that round. Wake up, true?
Yeah, Angelo said we lost that round unnecessarily. And I felt that the reason was I was against the ropes, like it happened in Montreal.
All right. Ray, I'd like to turn now to the man everybody in America wants to hear from. I want to go to our affiliate studios in Miami and to Roberto Duran, surrounded by his, there he is, his physician, Dr. Nunez, and his interpreter, and that's Luis Enriquez. Roberto, I'd like to go back to Sunday before the fight, which was on Tuesday. I interviewed you at the arena, and you said you were in far better condition for this fight then than you were for the first fight. Now, how do you square that with what happened at the end?
Roberto, 2 días antes de la pelea se te entrevistó en el Superdome y dijiste que estabas en muchas mejores condiciones que la última pelea. ¿Cómo explicas esto?
Bueno, cuando uno está arriba del ring siempre uno le pasa algo de repente, ¿no?
When you're in the ring, there's always the possibility that something could happen to you while you're in the ring.
And therefore, what you said before the fight, that you were in the best condition of your life, was true at that time.
Y lo que dijiste en el ring, en la entrevista, ese día de que estabas en tus mejores condiciones de tu vida, y eso es así.
Sí, fue verdad.
Yes, that's the truth.
All right. Now, Luis, be clear about this question to Roberto. Ray Arcel told me that when he came to New Orleans, Roberto did, Roberto was already at weight. He said some leeches from Roberto's native Panama got around him and sneaked food to him. Is this true?
Roberto, el señor Arcel dijo lo siguiente, que cuando él llegó a New Orleans, o sea, el señor Arcel, ya tú estabas en tu peso, pero que algunas personas, leeches, siendo personas negativas, supuestamente, estaban dándote comida a lo escondido.
Esa es mentira.
Howard, his answer is that that's a lie.
Is what? That's a lie.
That is false.
Okay. Then, Dr. Nunez, if that's false, why did Roberto get overweight? Because Arcel said he was at weight. And why did you prescribe diuretics for him?
Sir, I have never prescribed diuretics to Roberto Duran because he was never in the need for diuretics. Duran never was not in his weight when he was in New Orleans. And Mr. Duran never got to have any diuretics because his potassium was well, his sodium was well, and his whole urinary system was doing very well. So he didn't know diuretics at all. You only prescribe diuretics when an athlete, because to the stress, does not put his urine out and he's swelling or something like that. But he was never prescribed diuretic. So I completely disagree with Ray Arcel, what he has just told.
Didn't